So the other day I was browsing through the game store and I think I might have found one of the funniest hidden gems on Steam. This game is called Mr. Donald, and honestly it's way more entertaining than it has any right to be. The game starts with a completely unhinged tutorial where Elon Musk is somehow your guide, and then you spawn into Trump's office, and of course, your first task is to deport as many liberals as you possibly can. Man, the moment I saw this message from Sleepy Joe, I knew that I had to get that counter up to 100. And the office setup here is pretty hilarious. Everywhere you look, there's just some ridiculous little detail that gets a laugh out of me. The whole goal of the demo is just to complete one mission. But first, you gotta run by creepy-ass JD Vance. Once you get to the elevator, then you see Sleepy Joe Biden again. And he keeps popping up around the map as like a little Easter egg. You can spot him in a bunch of random places, and that honestly should be counting as a side quest in and of itself. Now, once you reach the basement, you gotta hop on the computer to start the Vatican mission. Biden has already fallen asleep, by the way. Before you begin, you casually drop tariffs on a few countries, like you're buying snacks from a vending machine. Then, when you get to the Vatican, the game literally tells you to press E to pay respects to the Pope, which feels illegal because it should obviously be the F key. Anyways, once you sneak down through a vent, you gotta pick up your first weapon, a golf club, because of course. I like how the enemies explode when they die. There are random like meme Easter eggs everywhere. Here I run into a Diddy oil bottle, and unfortunately there are plenty of more of those to go around in the Vatican for whatever reason. There's also like random items, some weird references, and my personal favorite, which you'll see later, literal potato servers that you have to destroy. Okay, so next you gotta continue on through the basement. I would say the enemies aren't too hard in this game, but I still managed to die because I didn't realize that you can break boxes for extra health. I know, sounds like a skill issue. Also, if you notice me destroying the cameras and the computers, to be honest, I really have no idea why I did that, and eventually I just get bored of doing it, so it'll stop later on in the gameplay. Now, the shooting enemies are certainly a bit more annoying as you go forward because you get more hordes of every enemy coming through, but you can deal with them one by one if you can kind of get them out on their own. So eventually you get to this weird room with some really weird creatures and things. At this point, honestly, I thought this was like the end of the game or something because I had no idea what was happening. Now, luckily, I had Elon to continue being my guide. So next you gotta grab this key card to get out of here. But first you gotta destroy, like I said before, the literal potato servers. Once you get to the next level, you have to get another key card from this guy over here. Then you go down some infinite hallway just to get back to the same guy again. Okay, if that wasn't confusing, don't worry, I was confused too. Now, this part is where I got a little stuck because, well, I might be a little stupid. Makes it quite fitting that I'm playing Anyways, you have to hop these crates and go free a bunch of hostages. I was a little careless a few times here and died a bunch of times unnecessarily, which resets you back to the beginning of this level, which is the very top of the crates. And, you know, eventually when I regained my brain cells and was able to pass the level, I kept going down on these other crates where you have to free more hostages, jump more crates, fight more enemies, and at some point you do pick up a few new guns that you can use. Now, once I got down to this level, I was seriously considering turning Donald Trump into one of those, you know, hot tub Twitch streamers. But sadly here the game forces you to destroy all the cameras. Now, here I got kind of stuck for a little bit. I think I accidentally glitched something out and the mission didn't progress or something because there was no more enemies left to kill and I couldn't really go anywhere. But I had to end up just resetting the level, and once I ran through back through the checkpoint, it was all good again. Okay, once I got through all of that, then I get another key card to go through the door. And you get a lovely message from... Wait, is that Osama? After that lovely message, you go through some more decontamination zones, and then basically you arrive at the final level. You keep going down levels, and this level right here kind of reminds me of 5 from Black Ops 1 Zombies. Now, once you run through all the enemies, you get all the way to the bottom floor, where you probably expect some, like, crazy final boss, but it's just a guy named Jeremy. You shoot him in the head, and that's it. Roll credits. Peak game design, if you ask me. But Jokes aside, I genuinely had a great time. For a demo, I think I'd give it like a solid 8 out of 10. If this looked interesting, check out the free Steam demo and tell me what weird stuff you found. Thanks for watching.